with Intention, podcast where we bring you stories from around the globe. Oh,
Yeah.
hello and welcome to another episode on Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And today I have a beautiful guest with me here, Alison Davis. Welcome to our podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Eva, for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be with you today.
Awesome. And please tell us a little bit about yourself and where are you from, please?
I live in New Zealand, the beautiful city called City of Sails, Auckland. I absolutely love this country. I've been here for 20 something years. So it's really my home. Um, so recently I stepped out of the corporate world as a senior leadership in risk management in the banking industry. I decided to answer the call of my calling, and I've been really healing and also transforming my house and life over the last 9 years. And I thought it's the right time for me to step into my purpose. So I'm a holistic health. I'm a certified holistic health coach and really passionate about quantum biology and quantum physics. I know some people might think this is quite a complex area, but I absolutely love all of these concepts because really help me delve into the root cause of everything. In the corporate world, I used to be an auditor in my professional life. One thing we always do is analyzing the root cause. So I love that. I need to understand what caused everything. So it's all started with my personal health crisis. And I had a postnatal depression when my son was born 9 years ago. He just turned 9 last weekend. So I used to be a very happy person, but somehow, that happiest moments in my life to turn into very unpredictable and uncertain time. I just somehow slip into this negativity, like downward spiral. My mind wasn't working and I wasn't happy. I was really quick to get angry. I just completely flipped. So on that day, the doctor told me I had a postnatal depression and it's a very severe case. And I was really shocked because I never thought that word is going to have anything to do with me because I was so happy and fearless before that. So the doctor trying to prescribe me with antidepressants, and I just like put my audit hat on and ask, why do I need to take that? What's the cause of my illness? Will that antidepressant take whatever that caused my depression away? And he told me it doesn't because it's only a symptom, helping me. And I said, no, I don't want that. I want to find the root cause so I can fix it. I don't want to live in like this anymore. So that's really I started looking to find my happiness again. Just asking so many questions. Why did I become ill when I was such a happy girl? And then why my brain is not listening to me? It just going down completely out of control. And like you learn about the nutritions and exercise, I was doing all of that. So intuitively, I know that was not my problem. So it's something else. So just keep asking the questions, why my cell in the body is not working as they're supposed to do? What do the cells need? What make them work well? So that all went down to cellular health, looking, studying mitochondrial health, and also went down even step deeper, looking at the atoms that make up all the cells. So it's been a 9 years long journey and I absolutely loved it. The the what I learned from those journey wasn't just health. I'm living like a vibrant, healthy life right now, but it's also how I live life because I learned to really look at everything through the eyes of Mother Nature. So that's almost, I see we humans are cells of Mother Nature. So, how does nature work will apply to us, to everything that live in there. That led me down to, Dr. Jack Cruz, one of my most instrumental mentors in this space, along with Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I actually, because I'm learning with them for 8 years now, and I somehow develop a unique approach to combine those tools, approaches and wisdom and teachings together. So for me, true health started with light, because that's what feed into the atoms that makes up everything in the world. And also is the electromagnetic field that around us that giving life to the light that we're receiving. So it's almost like a combination of cruise and dispenser, if you can see that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I feel like my mission on this planet is really to help people to go back to the basics, go back to
Mhm.
nature inside out, not only the mother nature that give us life, but also the nature of who we are inside of
Mhm.
us. And we are given everything we need to live an extraordinary life, but we've been programmed somehow for so many years that we need to go out to look for assistance, like food, exercise, medications, supplements, and equipments. All of this, actually, we don't need those. And the key for vibrant health is always with us all
Yeah.
along. We
So I want
never
to
lost it.
Yeah, so I want to go back a little bit because we kind of just went on here. But going back to, first of all, I love New Zealand and I've been there and I've seen a lot of beautiful places there in that area of the world. So I love it. I hope to visit one day again. Um, Secondly, sorry you got diagnosed with such a, depression, but you know what? Something always comes out of the things that we have to go through when they're hardships. And, first of all, I do applaud you for not giving in, and taking that leap of faith, I would call it, that it's like, you know what, I know you want to give me the antidepressants, but I'm still capable of deciding I don't want to, but now I'm more determined than ever to find out the root cause and what's causing
Mm,
it. So I love that because, at one point when I was going through my lowest times in life, I also had to go through depression. Well, they told me I was depressed when I went
mm,
into the doctor, and I was very young at that time. And as a child, you kind of usually don't have a say. You just kind of take what they give you. But
mm,
even back then, even though I was a child, I took it for a very short time, and then I said, no, I refuse to put this kind of stuff in my body because I don't want to just put a thing on it and forget about it and thinks it's
yeah.
gonna heal me. I did want to go to eventually at some point to the root cause of it as well,
Mm,
but
mm,
I'm not like you. It did take me quite a few years later to realize that even though I stopped the medications, so it took me that on that roller coaster, but then now I'm so fortunate to be able to push the boundaries and learn more about our own cell structure, and that's why I love having this conversation with you about quantum journeys and stuff like that. So I applaud you for being so strong and following your instincts and finding the cause of it, like why you had that depression. But for those that don't know much about quantum, could you go back a little bit, here and tell us a little bit more how the quantum physics role, what kind of role it plays in health and well-being, a little bit more in depth, if you may?
mm. I love that. And I applaud you for going on your journey, right? Everyone is on the journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just how uniquely we do things, right? For me, it's in the DNA. It's in my DNA to find why. I think that's probably what my parents taught me. And they always told me no medications because all the medications 70% are toxins. So that imprinted in my brain. So I never want to go there. So that's why I naturally go down to this natural path. So for quantum physics, it's really about the smallest element, the building block of life, the universe, right?
Hmm.
So it's atom.
Yeah.
And if you look at the structure of atom, I'm so fascinated by that the first time I looked at it. So in the middle of atom, there's a nuclear. It's a mass, a matter that you can see. But around it is a massive field that invisible as an electron cloud. It's a field. So just think about that. It's a defining moment for me. If that's the structure of atom, which makes up who we are, does that our body speak full of who we are? Probably not, because that matter inside it's called nucleus, inside the atom, is only 1% of the whole atom structure. So that really made me think, okay, so we've been told to look after our body and to do everything to make it look good. But that's not the biggest part of who we are. It's that invisible world around us. So I was really, really drawn to this, like what made up the atom. So I want to understand how we work, right? So
Yes.
I know, but by then I know this body is not who we are. Like that's very small part. So I want to know the main part of Alison. So if you look down, the quantum physics all around electrons, protons, and neutrons, that this the subatomic particles that make up the atom, right? You can drill down so deep into it. Nowadays, they found so many more smaller subatomic particles. But let's just stay at the atom level because that's what make up, for our body, the atoms make up molecules, the molecules make up cells, and then organ systems, and then become this body, right? So um, quantum biology and quantum physics is to go really just go down to the deepest level of our internal workings. I like to use the analogy of car, right? Think about when your car breaks down, you take to the mechanic, right? They don't ask you to give it a bit of fuel and drive it more often, like do more exercise, but that's how we do with house pretty much these days. But they look into the internal workings of the car, the battery, the engine, and the communication system, right? So make sure they find out the root cause and fix at that level. So this is basically what quantum biology is all about. Fix the problem at the core. And so you don't have to use bandages because once you fix the problem, you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny you use the words bandages here because you know what? To be very honest with you, like if you look at the outside world, it's so much go, go, go that
Mm-hmm.
nowadays we want a quick fix. And that's why a
Yes.
lot of us do take pills and all these things because yeah, you gotta go to work, you gotta be there at 9 o'clock, you have a headache, you wake up, boom, pill, chop, go, and off you go. But and then you get addicted to almost to these things.
Mm.
And I'm not saying here that when you have a big issue or like I've had kidney stones before that, sometimes you do have to reach for them. But nowadays,
Yeah.
because we're so busy, we tend to
Mm.
go more for the quicker fix than actually looking into the cause of what's really happening in our bodies because we're so busy. We gotta drop off the kids. We gotta go to work. We gotta pick up groceries. We gotta do those. It's a go, 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 go all day. And sometimes those days feel like that, but we gotta sit
Mm.
down at
Mm.
some point, really
Mm.
look at ourselves and take that time to get to know ourselves and our bodies more and feed it healthy. And I
Mm.
love that you're love nature because we talked about this earlier too, before the show, and I love how much time you spend in nature. And I think it's really important to stay grounded and
Mm.
reflect a lot more than keep those putting those bandages on too much, right? So I think it's
Yeah,
really
but
important.
mm, yeah, I totally agree with you. We are programmed to look for bandages. It's not, we're doing wrong things because that we've been taught that way. Because, all of these medications and they keep us going, but we're not going as the premium like a speed or we're not in the premium condition. But, we've been told we need to keep going, keep going, keep going. If we have to fix it quickly, we can't really go into the root cause because that takes time, right?
Mhm.
Um, but the thing is, the bandages doesn't not only make us perform less, at the probably the best that we can, they also actually interrupt atomic structure. Everything's dynamic. I know you like that word. You got a group called dynamic mindset. Everything in the universe is all interconnected, and nothing is not like energy is all a ecosystem, right? So once you intervene something, you don't know what the downstream effects are. That's why I'm absolutely not advocating of taking, even supplements, products, and all the medications, because we don't know what that cause structural change at the atom level. Because when you change that, everything else changes. So how do we get comfortable to take something when we don't know the effects of the things we use, right? So that's really the major concern for me. And also, yeah, I do spend a lot of time in nature because nature is connected to herself, right?
Yes.
I remember I was talking to someone. I said, do you know when the sun hits your eyes, it causes 6,000 chemical reactions? Do you know that?
I've First time hearing it from you, but I did see it
Yeah.
on one of your
So
videos.
so as an interesting, we don't understand all of this effects, implications, but we'll say, okay, we take this. We know it's going to change us, give us probably a little boost for a few seconds, for maybe a day. But do you know that 5,099 5,999 reactions are? You know what that affects that? So we don't know. So sometimes I feel like sometimes we are trying to outsmart nature, but we can't
Mm.
because we are made by nature on the principle of interconnectedness and harmony. And we don't want to break that law. Um, that's why all those, external sources is not something I seek for. I know it maybe give me a quick fix in somewhere, but down the track, what else do I need to fix? I don't know, right? So
Yes.
I actually learned this from my gardening journey. Um, I tell you, this is really funny. And I used to, when I started, I love, I watch so many videos. I want to do the same thing. And I look at them so well, talk to them and and water them and give all this feeds and fertilizers. I just attend them so much. But then one day I saw a beetroot was growing by the driveway, the clay soil, the heaviest clay soil, and is doing so much better than the one in the bed that I tended every day. And then I said, oh my gosh, nature doesn't need my interference. Same as my body. I don't need to interfere it. All I need to do is get out of the way. So that was a profound moment. Really teaching me so much lesson from that. Nature knows best and our body knows best. We don't need to do anything. The only thing we need to do is not to do anything. It sounds interesting, but it's absolutely so true.
Exactly. Yeah, we like to get in the way sometimes, and
Mm,
yeah, we have to see, the thing is we've stopped listening to ourselves, and for the most part, because there's so many things going on in the world, we look for the outside sources and
hmm.
quick fixes, outside sources. And I hear this over and over again. It's time to go within, and go back
Yeah.
to your true source.
Mm,
Because we seem to forget that,
mm,
and
mm.
it's true. Like now, because I study with Dr. Joe Dispenza, just like yourself and many others as well. I love his teachings. Like, if you gave me that book about maybe 10 years ago, I would have looked at it and put it away, because I'm like, what? I don't get any of it. But as you're learning and expanding your knowledge and you're understanding these things, they make so much more sense. And now I can't
Absolutely.
stop reading, because it's so fascinating and I finally understand a lot of it. And that doesn't mean I went to school and started a whole bunch of science words. It's just it for some reason it does make all sense now when I read his stuff. And I'm like, wow, where was I all this time?
Yeah.
But
It's not woo-woo at all. It's absolutely solid science. And there's so
yeah.
many scientific data now coming out supporting that. Um, yeah, and I also see people more waking up to that nowadays because, how do you make people go within? You can't really. They only go within when they choose to. For me, is when everything outside of me collapsed and there's nowhere to go. And the
Hmm.
only place I can go is within. So I think, you know, everybody's on a different journey. I hope one day people will have to go within, but as long as they have something to hold on to in the outside world, the motivation is not strong enough for them to do that. You see generally people change how they live is because there's some significant events in their life that push them to the edge of life. And then that's why they start asking questions
Yeah.
and go within. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how generally it works.
For the most part, you're right. Something has to, like, as they say, shake the tree in order to,
Yeah.
do something about it. And because we get comfortable.
Mm,
And if nothing's happening, why would you move, right? Nothing's
exactly.
happening, everything's nice and steady, nothing's falling into, nobody's doing it. You feel comfortable, you stay within, and life seems to go on, right?
Keep
But
going. Keep going. Yeah.
yeah, but there comes a time where major things happen,
Mm,
and sometimes you have to make those decisions to either move forward or spiral down. And sometimes do
mm,
people do spiral down. That's why I applaud you for not giving up when you were diagnosed with that, because some people just give up, take the drugs, and they're addicted to it for the rest of their life sometimes, unfortunately. um
mm.
and that's how the awareness they have. So um I'm happy that you were able to find a light at the end of the tunnel, and now you're here teaching people about this, and you call your academy Glow Academy, and I love that
Yeah.
name. So please tell us more about that. Of course, we know a little bit about you, but what are the core principles in your academy? Like,
Mm,
what is your core message and mission here?
yeah. So my company Glow Academy was built completely on 100% of love. I I feel I'm called on this mission to help people to, like I said before, is go back to nature inside out, go back to the basics because we lost along the way through conditioning, like social norms and schooling and all of this society expectations, and we lost the true essence of who we are. So Glow Academy is all about empowering people to find who they are, or not to find who are, to remember who they are, because they're always there. It's just they've been distracted to go off the track, but the home is always there. So I want to help people to come back home. I call this Mother Nature. I actually love, I was talking to my husband this morning and I was standing on the piece of grass and I'm thinking, I love Mother Nature so much and it makes me emotional.
Mm,
And this state of joy and happiness and also this in inner glow. That's why I named my academy Glow Academy, because this inner glow is always there, but we've been dimming it down for so long. But it's screaming. They're trying to shine from the inside of everybody. So that's my mission.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I love
spread
that.
love and bring humanity back to nature,
I
inside
love
out.
that. That's beautiful. As you're talking about that, it reminded me one of the exercises I heard Bob Proctor talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it said when you get to a point in life where either you're miserable or you're not liking where you are, go back to one of those memories when you were very young, that you felt very blissful, very
Mm-hmm.
young, that you were just carefree and all that.
Mm,
So we're talking about that. It kind of brought me back to that moment that I experienced when I was a child.
mm,
So sometimes when I want to, and it's not so much going back to the past, it's kind of, for me, it's connecting with that feeling, with that glow, with that, when I was in that state, I was so carefree, so glowing, like you say, and bring that back to my life when I sometimes forget. And I do that exercise sometimes, but I love that exercise because it grounds me. And then
yeah,
it helps when you're in nature as well and you feel that, and it's like kind of being like, what's the word I'm looking for? United again with your true
yeah.
essence. Yeah.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
Yeah, you're talking about the childhood, right? Those moments you had, mainly from the childhood, actually. I think that what drives me to go on my journey to find the happiness, because I used to be so fearless, so happy, and I felt I could conquer the world. That's how ambitious I was. And then that's who we really are. If you look at children, you have a beautiful little girl, just look at them. I just watch them and I actually learn lessons from them every single day. It's just so refreshing to see how much we lost along the way. And they're so fearless. They're so expressive. Like they don't really care how other people see them. They're just a free expression and not fear about anything. They're just happy. Everything can make them happy. Like, I see how many people nowadays having so much than they used to be, but they are miserable. Like where is that intrinsic sense of appreciation or loving whatever you have? Like even they were playing in outside on the bank, picking up all the sticks, the sticks and the rocks. They spent like half an hour to 1 hour into it. Those things means nothing to adults probably, but that's enough to make their day so special. So the little things, they and I just find, from this whole journey, I find it's not about learning new things, it's about unlearn the things we have learned so we can become the glow that we always have.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
It's kind of
I love
unlearning the
that, my children.
unnecessary things we bother our brains with that really don't
I
serve us,
know.
to be
The
honest.
thing is, yeah, the more you have, the more material thing you have, the more things you have to do. And I'm the same. I'm not exception. And we built this house 2 years ago, have so much, and we have a pool, which I didn't want to have, but my husband used to grow up with a pool, so he know how he loved it. My children absolutely loved it. So I'm absolutely fine with it. but the maintenance go with it. It's just like, what are we doing to our life? We add more stuff and we add more and add more, add more, add more, just keep adding stuff.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
shows you how abundant we are, and we forget that sometimes. But at the same time, the more you add on, the more things you have to maintain, so, which
I
is
know.
also so
Yeah.
it's a good and the bad here. But take your pick, right? Um, empowering others. What are the most common misconceptions people may have about their ability to heal and create the life they desire? I'd like to touch a little bit on that, if you may.
Everything. Everything. This actually sum up my journey. I felt everything we've been taught about health is all wrong or needs to be questioned. Like the food and supplements and exercises, and they are not the fundamental reason why we're becoming sick or well. Um, but there are probably three things I want to highlight. Number one is light. Um, we are beings of light, not just from spiritual perspective. We're actually literally beings of light. So the light, this is the most fascinating part of quantum biology and quantum physics. We talk about the atom, right? Electron interacts with light. So the light is the most fundamental signal that our cells need. With no light, cells don't work, right? So we ourselves receive light, process light, and eventually make light. So we all emit all of this ultra-wake UV light. This is all documented in science. What is it they called? This famous onion ring. So they collected all the organism, living organism, and they put it into the photomultiplier. They all emit a light called biophotons. Same, everything, the plants, animals, the birds, and us. So we are completely a being of light, taking light in, process light inside our body, and emit light. So just think about the biggest misconception in the last 100 years. We are saying the sun is bad, right? We go outside with sunblocks and we capture ourselves in the indoors. 95% people spend their time inside the house, indoors, so they don't see the sun. They block the sun when they're out. Also, on top of that, is that we are surrounded by the wrong light. I call it process light. We talk about process a lot, but we don't normally talk about process light. The light from the screens, the computers,
Mhm.
even Wi-Fi and mobile networks, or in the same electromagnetic frequencies, they all form of light, if we can put it simply. These light are not supposed to be isolated because they are part of the sun. Let's go back this a little bit further. So the sun's rays hit the earth, but not all of those frequencies hit the earth because Mother Earth has a magnetosphere, so filter out a lot of the frequencies like the X-rays and gamma rays and microwave, all of that, because they're harmful to all the organic life on Earth. But the technology in the last 100 years, we brought those frequencies in. The blue light is isolated now. We see all the screens here. They are not the sunlight, right? They are the frequency of the sunlight. The sunlight is the ecosystem. I have all of this frequency, the colors working together, but sunlight by itself is a stressor. So we've been our life is lit by blue light nowadays. All the things, like all technology use blue light. And then this invisible light, the Wi-Fi and mobile networks, they are all foreign alien light to our biology. This is what our cells receiving 24/7 almost. They depend on the sunlight to work. So how do you think our cells are doing in our body? They are screaming their head off.
Getting fried.
They're getting fried. Exactly. They're getting cooked. That's why there's so many diseases coming out of nowhere. It's all back to light. And something, another misconception is the UV light. So many people, UV light are going to give you skin cancer and all of that. Because we don't really understand the origination of our life. If you go back to 65 million years ago, I love talking about the story. Our ancestors used to live underground, so they didn't need UV light. This is all documented, in science. This is all, listeners can actually go check that out. Our ancestors used to be very small and very hairy. They live underground. But 65 million years ago, this asteroid hit the Earth and blocked the photosynthesis. There's no sunlight. And then when the sunlight came back, that's when the dinosaurs are wiped out, right? So now the little fairy ancestors of humans don't have the predators. They came out of the ground. And that's when evolution started, because the UV light, stimulate their brain, stimulate their melanin, and all of this started the human evolution. So if that's what the UV light did to us, how could it be toxic? Without this, if dinosaurs not wiped out by this asteroid, our ancestors will be always living underground, right? So without the sunlight, their brain won't be evolving, so many years now become, this incredible quantum machine, quantum computer we have. So that's really the driving force of human evolution. How could that be bad? And also we talked about before, all living creatures emit UV light, extreme low frequency UV light. Well, if you make it, how could it be wrong, right? There's so many misconceptions. I'm not sure whether this is intended. But we've been taught to block our UV light because it's really bad for us. But the thing is, most people don't understand UV light our skin need to be conditioned to receive UV light. The morning sun is rich in red and infrared lengths. So that's the conditioner of our skin. If you don't go outside to get exposed to the morning sun, of course you're going to burn. I haven't been using sunblocks for how many years? I don't understand. I don't remember how many years I haven't been using them, but my skin is the best because I go outside in the morning, watch sunrise, and just get all of the morning sunlight. I can get a really, really tanned, and I can spend a whole day in the peak of the UV. I don't get burned.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think this is the biggest conception. The sunlight is bad and UV light cause you cancer. Absolutely not true. And we talk about the other things, the misconception about, eating well. Eating well is good. It's essential, right? It's really interesting. We talk about organic foods now, but that's used to be the only thing our, ancestors eat, organic. But now it's like a buzzword.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
So many things out there. We could honestly we could go on forever, but let's get into a little bit of living your dream life before we wrap up here. What advice would you give to someone feeling stuck and searching for the first step towards a life filled with joy, vitality, and purpose?
I would say be curious, question everything. Everything we are taught need to be questioned. I've been going through a 9 years journey to question everything and undo everything I did before. So I think this curiosity is really our superpower. And then because of that, makes you really want to understand, the deeper level of everything, not just service level. And then that makes you a good thinker, a critical thinker. That's what make us apart from any other animals, for example, our cousin chimps, because we can think.
That brain there
Those,
for a reason, right?
yeah, the brain's for a reason. That's why we're dominating the planet right now. We have this quantum computer, but we are not using it, right? We really rely on lots of technologies to do that for us. We really need to start critical thinking, um, question the norm, and ask why everything. And you'll be surprised how everything you start questioning just fall apart by itself.
Yeah. Wow,
Mm.
so many wonderful insights. And the name of this podcast is Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. How important do you think it is to set intention first thing in the morning to for the rest of the day?
Well, intention is the gateway of creating life. I see, we are in the middle of a physical world and a non-physical world. This intention is really to bring what's in the invisible to the visible. Like we call it creation or manifestation, whatever that is. Intention is the gateway. But and then just the intention is not enough because you need um, once again, we have a brain and also we have a heart, right?
Mhm.
So you're probably familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's teaching. Your thoughts, your brain is electrical. So broadcasting out all your thoughts, that's great, but it's not going to go anywhere if you don't have a heart that incoherent with that thought. So your heart is
Exactly.
magnetic. So you broadcasting out electrically and then you bring it back magnetically with your heart. So brain heart
Coherence.
coherence is absolutely key.
Exactly.
That was the intention
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
Great,
that's
I like that.
yeah. So many beautiful insights today. And I want to thank you so much, Allison, for being here with us today. And I absolutely love our talk. And I hope I get to chat with you again on another podcast in the future. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. And thank you so much for listening to us. And definitely in this video, I'll post connection links to get in touch with Allison if you like to get in touch, connect with her, and follow her on her social media. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day today.
Thank you so much, Eva. I appreciate you. Love you lots.
You're welcome, and thank you so much, and lots of love and gratitude. Thank you.